Okie dokes. So in this video, I want to do a beginner's 90-90 stretch or 90-90 position. And we're going to use yoga blocks to help support, to help take some of the external rotation out of the front hip. So first of all, we're just going to sit on this yoga block. I'm starting on my left leg, and we're just going to put our back leg behind us. And we want to have we want this front leg to be coming 90 degrees out from the body, so straight out, and then a 90-degree bend in the front leg. Same here, we want 90 degrees out from the body, so these two are at 90 degrees from one another, and then 90 degrees back here. I'm going to put something under my ankle because the yoga mat's not quite wide enough, just to soften that. Okay, I'm also going to take this yoga block and put it underneath this knee. Now, as you can see, because this is raised, this leg is less externally rotated in the hip socket, so that femur is, if there was an X on the top of my thigh, we've brought that in just slightly by elevating the pelvis and the knee. You might, if you have two more yoga blocks, then you can use them to support yourself during the stretch part of the movement. I've got these that I've made up. It just helps me get over my shin and support myself so I can take some of the load off. In the beginning, it might be quite sensitive. So the first part is 2-minute stretch, and we're just going to kind of get over our knee, our shin, sort of sending our weight, keeping our torso nice and long. And just sit here and breathe. And my hips, with my pelvis, I'm anteriorly rotating it. So if I had two headlights on my butt cheeks, I'm rotating them up towards the ceiling. That's going to accentuate the stretch on the outside of this left hip. And I'm aiming to keep my spine nice and long. And a nice pressure in the abdomen at pelvic floor and the diaphragm and the abdomen, sort of creating like a pressure chamber there. Always looking to find length in the spine. Remembering to fully exhale, going down right to the bottom of the breath. And then packing that air in, ready for the inhale. So keeping a little bit of tone in the abdomen as we inhale. And maintaining that posterior anterior tilt, so the headlights up. And you might notice that if you start to create a little bit of downward pressure, you can accentuate that stretch on the outside line here a little bit more. And so they're the tissues that we're targeting primarily. Okay, and when the 2 minutes is up, that might be enough for you. Just doing the 2-minute stretch, maybe that's enough. But we want to build towards creating some strength there now at that end range. So we've just opened up this new end range. And we want to start driving that foot into the ground. This is called the PAILS part of the movement. Progressive angular isometric load. So we're trying to now, we're sending that X here, we're going to send it in towards the inside of the thigh. We're going to try and, by rotating, so we're creating internal rotation. And we do 10 seconds, and then we take a break, take a breath, reset. Packing the air down. And then we're going to pull our body, pull our torso towards our knee and our knee towards it. So this whole thing is going to come up towards us and we're going to come down towards it. So pulling ourselves, keeping a nice long spine. If you have a spare yoga block, you can just squeeze it in here, like tuck it right into there, into your hip, and squeeze it. And then take a break. Resetting, repositioning, finding that nice length there. And then packing the air in, exhaling everything, inhale, and driving that foot down. With each rep of this, we want to be increasing the amount of intensity. And ease off. So maybe the first round is like 20%, second round is 30 to 40, and the third round is like 50, somewhere between 50 and max effort. Okay, now the rails part, we're going to close this angle, pulling our torso, keeping it long, keeping over the shin, trying to keep the foot sort of in line with the shin. We're not like rotating too much like that. Squeeze that block if you've got that block, and ease off, relax. Take a deep breath, reset, exhale everything out, pack the air in, drive that foot down, sending that X inwards, and maintaining everything else. I'm not shifting side to side, I'm staying over it. And I'm really feeling the outside of this fire up, the back of this fire up. Max effort. And relax. Deep breath in, exhale everything. Pack it in, and closing that angle. The rails, regressive, angular, isometric load. So I'm really squeezing that yoga block, keeping everything nice and long. And relax. Now, if that's enough for today, then that's fine. Go to the other leg and shake it out. However, we just opened up a whole load of range of motion here, and we want to own it. So we're going to take a few breaths at end range, keeping that anterior tilt, headlights up, spine long. Fully inhaling, fully exhaling. Three to 5 breaths and then we're going to start driving it in. So we're going to start pushing this whole section here, pushing to come up. Now you can use your hands to support you. You can use both hands. You can use one hand. You can use 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger to no fingers. And then it's a case of maybe hands on chest. We're going to do 5 reps. And you can even load it more by doing this. This is all progressions, but I would start with your hands, whatever feels safe if it's very sensitive. But we just opened up all that new range, and we want to integrate that into what we had before. There's no point just opening it up over here, but we had this before. We want to close that gap. Nice. Now, repeat on the other side, and then once you've repeated on the other side, I invite you to shake those legs out, shake out all the tension. You built up a lot of tension in your legs, and we want to rattle that